Yo, okay, so check out what I got on the screen right now, right? I have words up right now, and these words, I'm getting ready to build something because I want to show something, because I just want to show God's people what's up, right? But check this out. Look at these keywords right here. This is from Proverbs 1:7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Okay? All right, so look at this word right here, fear, right? So I'm going to show you what's up with the word fear right here. Now check this out. Look at this fear. I love the word fear because it's a fun word, because fear means to try, to risk, right? So check this out. The fear of the Lord. So when you hear this, it's totally different, right? So when you see, when you fear, that means you're trying, Lord. You are risking, Lord. You are going to do what the Lord wishes, what God wishes, man. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh my God, I'm scared. It's not this right here. It's like, oh no, it's not danger. It's none of these things right here. Sudden attack or anything like that. That's what most people think, right? You always got to go back to the roots, right? So when you check the roots out, it's right there, right? It tells you, to try, right? So when you fear God and you fear God only, that means you try God and you try God only. You only risk God and you only risk God only, right? So whatever it is you do it for God, and you only do it for God only, right? Okay, scary, simple service. Okay, so let's get it going. Hey, God's people. Okay, so this one is going to be for God's people, right? And then I put together a tab flow, right? There's a lot of tabs up there right now because, I just want to show a flow. I want to show a show about what it means to fear, man. Okay, so let's go. Let's keep it moving. Okay, so remember, heaven and earth, right? I got heaven and earth up here in the picture, right? Because I'm going to show you where it says it in the Bible. Okay, check this out right here. Genesis 1:1 says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, right? Hold on, Loki, stop chewing that. No. Loki's chewing on leaves right now. Okay, so it says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, right? God created the heaven and the earth, not man, right? So man doesn't have anything to do with controlling how the heavens and the earth function, okay? Let's keep it going. All right, so check out this word right here. Oh, let me show you first the picture, right? So look at heaven, right? Heaven and earth, right? Heaven and earth, right? You see heaven and earth, right? You see all this? Heaven and earth, right? There's a reason why I'm showing you this, right? Because I'm going to show you the words, right? So when God created, God was the one that made it grow, right? Because create is to grow, right? So God made heaven grow. God made earth grow, right? Okay, let's keep it going. Look at heaven. Heaven is sky, right? So God made the sky grow. That's what he did. But I like this one right here. You see this? Home of God, right? So whenever you look up, right, you're always looking up. That's where God lives, right? That's why everyone, you always look up. But see, check this out. Heaven, to cover, right? You see that? That's where it tracks down to. Heaven, to cover. So God's always got you covered, man. Even though you might not know it, God is always covering you. Scary, simple service, right? Okay, let's keep it going. Earth, right? This is another fun word. I love this word right here because it's so fun. See, look at earth right here. Earth, ground, right? So earth, ground. So now when you track ground down, right, and then you're like, well, let's go find ground, right? And then you go, so ground, surface of the earth, also abyss and hell. Right? So hell, a deep place, right? A shallow place, right? So whenever you think like, oh my God, I'm going to earth, right? Earth is hell, right? So every man and every woman that is walking around right now, we're all in hell. Every last one of us is in hell, right? So, you don't have to worry about, like, oh my God, I'm going to go to hell when I die. Because when you're alive in the flesh, when you're alive in the flesh right now, you're already in hell, man. Okay, so let's keep it going. Yeah, I just like that word. It's a fun one, right? So look at hell. If you track that down too, it goes to cover, conceal, right? Remember that? Hell, to cover, conceal, right? So I want to show you how these words are circular sometimes. You see heaven, right? To cover, heaven to cover. So heaven covers and hell covers, right? That's why these words are just fun when you track them down, man. Okay, let's keep it going, right? Super Saiyan. Okay, so I have this bit right here because that's my man Goku, right? And then I have Super Saiyan up right here is because when I was in the Navy, I used to watch this cartoon all the time, right? And then, I saw this cartoon and then I found out that basically, Goku is like Jesus, right? Because there was a story to the Journey to the Earth, whatever. It's a Chinese story, right? And it's a Chinese story, and it's an old story, and it's how the Monkey King has to go through these journeys and these travels. But then they turned it into a cartoon form, and now you have Dragon Ball Z, and it captures all the elements, right? But I love the word Super Saiyan, right? So when I look at the word super is over or above, right? At the top, right? And then look, check it out. Say. Say means to follow, right? When you say, that means you follow, right? So you're following literally with your ears and then with your eyes and things like that, because everything goes to segue, but speech also means to follow, right? So the words that you use when you speak, you're following, right? So that's why you have to track the words down, man, because it's all about following, right? And then check out in, right? In just means in or on, right? In, into, upon, right? So Goku is above, speak, word, on, or in or on, right? That's just fun, man, but that's just what you do. So when you get the words down, right, and you master the words, you go to this level right here, man. You can do all of this fun stuff right here, right? You just walk around, you can transform colors and things like that. Well, that's it. I just wanted to show you that, but okay, let's go ahead and get it started right now, right? So I always want to establish the order of God's realm, right? So always remember what the order of God's realm is. Remember, God created the world, check. God created man, aka the people, check. People created states, check. People created constitutions, check. People created governments, check. Question, when did government become boss of the people? Okay, let's go ahead and do some searching, man. All right, so we're going to walk into the maxims of law, because we always want to start off with the great laws, and we always want to check out authority, we want to check out the power, we want to check out the servants, and we want to check out their jurisdiction. So we're looking at 11a right here, right? A delegated power cannot be again delegated. Remember that. A deputy cannot have or appoint a deputy, right? So every public servant, so every man or every woman that works for the government or works for a corporation, you are delegated power, right? The people created constitutions for you to operate in, and then when you operate in those constitutions, our rules are very clearly defined, and we define them in the Constitution, man. So that's why we're going to show you right now who's the power, right? Who has the authority, and the people have the power. We have all the power, man, and we're just going to keep showing you that now, right? So check out 53, right? When you have guardian, inheritance, minor, legal capacity, right? But we're looking at 53C right here, right? So you see this? If a guardian do fraud to his ward, he shall be removed from his guardianship, right? So don't cause any harm, guardian, right? If you're protecting, right, do not cause harm. Do no harm, right? Scary simple service, right? Let's keep it going. So we got deputy right here, right? Because we're talking about our subordinate officers, right? The people that we put in positions, right? But remember, a way to think, right? So we're always going to give the deputies a way to think, right? We always write down how they're supposed to think, and they're only supposed to think within that capacity that we gave them, right? That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. All right, so let's keep it going. Guard, right? So we had guard up here because we wanted to show what's up with guard, right? Because you see that? To keep, maintain, preserve, protect, right? So when you guard, you keep. When you guard, you maintain. When you guard, you preserve. When you guard, protect, right? So that's what every man and every woman has a responsibility to do for God's kingdom. We have to be the guardians of God's kingdom, right? That's what God's people do, man. All right, let's keep it going. Fraud, right? Here's another fun word right here, because you always hear these lawyers and these bar association people talking about fraud, right? But when you see right here where it says Fraus, a cheating, deceit, a cheater, right? Deception, error, right? So when you try to do these things and you try to deceive and you try to cheat, that means that you're in fraud, right? So let's check out what cheat is, right? So look at what cheat means. Cheat means out to fall, right? You're falling, you fall out, you fall away. It's such a fun word, right? To seize, right? So you're grabbing something, right? You're taking something away from someone or something, right? You're cheating, right? Scary simple service. Look at that. That which falls to one, right? So one is grabbing it for one, right? You cannot do that, right? So we don't want cheaters anymore. Okay, so check this out. Moratorium, right? We like this word because all of our political people have been filling out, especially our executives, right? One of our delegated powers, right? They've been filling out these moratoriums and they've been writing executive orders because they've been trying to delay things. They've been trying to pause things, right? They've been trying to hinder and delay, right? So entities out there are writing out words that are pausing and delaying things for the people, things that benefit the people, right? And now we're just going to let you guys know that that's not good. That's basically no. You cannot do that, okay? So here's one of the things that they go ahead and they try to talk about, the climate, right? Look at climate from klima, region or zone, literally an inclination or slope, right, to lean, right? So, we're all leaning on the climate right now, right? So look at that, climate, that's what it means. But they're always talking about a horizontal zone of the Earth's surface, measured by lines, parallel to the equator, right? So when you look at that map and you see a straight line and you see those other lines, that's what they're talking about, climate and stuff like that. All right, so let's keep it going. Crisis, right? Remember, I'm building right now. So crisis right here is to sieve, right? Boom. That means you're like cutting something away. See that? To separate, decide, judge, right? Crisis, right? So if you have a climate crisis, right? That means is someone here leaning, right? To lean and to sieve, right? So you're leaning and you're sieving, so you're trying to cut and you're trying to separate, man. I don't know how you can do this stuff right here, but look at this. Decisive point in the progress of a disease, man. What? Why are they talking about diseases, right? Turning point in a disease, right? A crisis is a turning point in a disease. So can the climate have a disease, right? Can something you lean on have a disease? I don't know. Let's check it out, man. Let's keep it going. All right, so we went to the DuckDuckGo and we wanted to look at what the word crisis looked like, and then look at all the images that pop up, right? You see this coronavirus crisis intervention, dominoes right here, there's somebody putting out like a little lifeboat, right? Midlife crisis, right? It just doesn't look good whenever you see crisis, right? There's a bunch of bad things that go on right here, right? All right, let's keep it going. So this is what we're getting ready to do, because I took you through a little part of the journey of Plato's Cave, right? Because we're showing you what's on the screen by using the light, right? But then we're also showing you that there's other people out there, right? So there's other people out there that show you things on the screen and they just try to decide, or they try to trick you, right? So if you're one of the men, or you're one of the women, or you're one of the people that's sitting here looking at the screen saying, oh my God, look at that, right? Oh, doom, we're all gonna die, right? Because somebody's showing you images on the screen that aren't true, right? What we try to do now is we try to bring you to the light, man. That's all we try to do. We try to show you the light by showing you the flow of the words, man. Okay, scary simple service. Okay, and then one of the ways that we do that is by hanging out with the grand jury, the great word or the great law, right? We just hang out, right? But sometimes, they look at us like this. Here we go. They're just like, they're kind of over me right now, but they just know that they can't leave. They can't run. You can't run, grand jury. You got a responsibility and a duty. You better get with me and we're going to do some work, okay? I'm just having fun with them. They know it, right? Look at that. Grandma right there is just like, she's like, oh my God, it's Sunday, bro. Aren't you supposed to chill on Sunday? Yeah, we're always chilling. This is fun for us. All right, let's go. Okay. Here we go. So we always want to show you what's up with the grand jury, because it has a function, right? So the function of the grand jury is to investigate. So we're always going to look at the operations, how things are put together of the various officers, departments, and agencies of local government, right? Our local government, right? So those are all the entities that the people have created that allow us to have a nice, cool, happy space to be in, right? So all of the men and all of the women called the people We are the lords and we are the masters over every government within the world, right? Okay, so that's why we have to do this now, man. We have to show you what's up, man, because you're all little G's, okay? Remember, you always want to know what the word trust means, right? Because everything that we do is all about trust. You got to be firm, you got to be solid, you got to be steadfast, okay? Every constitution that we've made, it's a trust, okay? It's firm, it's solid, it's steadfast. It's all based off of the word, all right? Let's go. Constitute, right? Remember, constitute, right? See that? With, together, to stand, right? With, together, to stand, right? So that's what it means when we have a constitution, we stand together, right? With, together, to stand. We got to be firm on our constitutions, right? All right, let's keep it going. So this is one of the things that we look for. We always look for maladministration, right? Because we want to see, is there faulty or improper management of affairs, right? So are they managing the affairs of the people in a good way? Are the people benefiting from the way that things are being managed, right? Are the people happy? Are they safe? I don't know. We're going to look at it, and we're always going to check it out because the screen is full of images that can show us what's up, okay? And then we always look for treason, right? Because since we've given them trust, we want to see if they betray the trust. We want to see if they deliver the trust to someone else. We want to see if they hand over the trust to someone else, man. That's what we look for. So all of our public servants, all of the corporations that all of the people have ever created that can help serve us and help give us things, right? We want to see if they commit treason, if they betray us, right? If they make us not happy, right? That means that they're committing treason, man. Okay? Remember that. If you're not happy, there's something going on, and now we have to do the investigations and we have to look at why are we not happy. All right, let's go. War, right? One of the reasons why is because of war. War is not the pew pew boom bombs and stuff like that. The war I'm talking about is meaning confuse, mix up, right? So I love this example because it's easy, right? So every time you have one of our public servants go on the screen and say, our democracy, you know that they're committing war against the people right there because they're trying to confuse the people because we don't have a democracy. We have a Republican form of government, right? So they should be saying, our republic, right? And then there would be no confusion. Then they wouldn't be mixing it up. But because they're using a different word to describe what it is that we are, they're causing confusion, right? They do that all the time, right? You will be known by your words, right? And then we can follow you now because the words that you say, they're everywhere, right? We got them everywhere because of the internet, man. All right, so check this out. We're hanging out in the California Constitution, and before we walk, we got to show the preamble. So check this out. We're showing you who the boss is, right? We the people of the state of California, grateful to Almighty God for our freedom in order to secure and perpetuate its blessings, do establish this Constitution, right? The people. So the people are the bosses of this Constitution because the bosses of the people, it's God, right? So God is the boss of all people, and then the people are the boss of all constitutions, and every entity that falls in the realm of the Constitution or the jurisdiction of the Constitution, we the people are your boss. Remember that, okay? Every man and every woman out there, you're the boss of the government. So much fun. Let's go. All right, so we're in Article 1, California Constitution, Section 1, right? This is what we call the Declaration of Rights. So every state has a constitution, and every state has a Declaration of Rights. And then when you read the Declaration of Rights, they're all very, very close, right? But if you see in here, we got 33 sections in our Declaration of Rights, right? Other states have more or less, whatever, but check out Section 1. All people are by nature free and independent and have inalienable rights, right? Those are things that you can't take away, right? Among these are enjoying and defending life and liberty, acquiring, possessing, and protecting property, and pursuing and obtaining safety, happiness, and privacy, right? So all of these things, no government entity can ever take away these, right? This is what is given to the people because we showed you that you cannot mess with these, right? These are the people's rights. So whatever it is that you're trying to do within your job description, within the republic, right? Don't mess with that stuff because if you do, we call that maladministration. Okay, let's go. Keep it going. All right, so here we go. We're going to get into the word right here, right? So we got Matthew 18:20, right? And I'm showing you something because I'm still building. This building is really fun, right? So check out Matthew 18:20. It's got some very important words, right? For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them, right? You know, so that's my brother Christ, you know, talking about God, right? And then just saying what's up, right? So he's saying for, you know, wherever there's 2, 3, or more gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them, right? We call that an association. Scary simple service, right? So God, whenever God and whatever Christ was saying, follow me, follow me, follow me, right? You know, he's always talking about an association, right? When you form associations, that means you come together, you unite, and you're one, right? Scary simple service. So here's it is in the Bible, you know, always telling you what's up. So you can go to King James and you can just type in follow me, right? And then just look at all the beautiful words in there that say follow me, right? They're so much fun. All right, so let's go into Justia. What's up, Justia? We're going to hang out with you for a minute because we want to show you what the right of association is, right? It's another thing no government can mess with, right? You know, so whenever 2 or more of you want to hang out and you guys want to do something together, right? And as long as you don't harm man, woman, or child, right? And then you're one of the people, you're cool, man. So you can associate. And this is what we told them, right? Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, right? An establishment of religion would be somebody coming in with a different ideology, right? And saying, you know, like they can't call our thing a democracy, right? They're trying to establish another religion, right? That's just an example, right? So, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, right? So every man and every woman, we can practice what we believe, right? You know, and that's all about God. Scary simple service, right? Or abridging the freedom of speech. We can say what we want to say. Or of the press, we can write what we want to write. We can put anything we want on the videos. We can do whatever we wish, right? Or the right of the people to peaceably to assemble. We can come together as much as we want, and we can do things amongst each other in the private realm in our associations, right? And to petition the government for redress of grievances, right? So we can always put the government in a straight line. If we ever feel grieved and we don't feel happy or safe or anything like that, right, then we redress. We take off the clothes of the government. We put them in a straight line and we say, this is what you're supposed to do. Here are the rules. Follow the rules. Don't get at me until you follow the rules correctly. And if you don't follow the rules, we're coming after you, man. Don't be a bad administrator, okay? Scary simple service, right? You know, but every man and every woman has the right to associate. All right, let's keep it going. Boom. Sui generis, right? We like this one because it's getting into Latin, right? You know, but when you have the sus, that's his or her, right? It or one, right? Sui means one, right? Sui means one. And then when you see the gene, right, just know that G-E-N-E or G-E-N, that means birth, right? That means birth, right? So one birth, right? But we like this because it says it right here. Of one's own kind, right? Just remember that, of one's own kind, right? Now, Judas, right? Judas right here is a fun one because it's law, right? And then law is also a word, right? So a word or a law is Judas, right? That's what Judas means. So you have one, suri means one, Judas means law, right? One law, one word. Scary simple, okay? Let's go. But check it out right here where it says sui juris, right? So they put it all together for you right here. It says, of full legal age and capacity, ancient Rome, of the status of one not subject to the patricia or patria potestas, right? You know, that's another Latin term, whatever, right? But you're not of the status. You're of one's own status. You are of one's own, right? One own kind. That's what you are. You are one own kind, one law. One law, one word. That's what sui juris means, okay? Remember that, right? That means you're free, okay? Check this out. Associate, right? We always like to talk about associate because that means to follow. That means to unite, right? When you unite, that means you become one. When you join in company, you become one, right? You know, but you do that, right? Because that's what you wish to do, okay? Scary simple service. Let's keep it going. Unincorporated, right? You know, remember when you see that means not, right? Not incorporate, right? You know, so we're going to keep tracking down corporate now. Here we go. Incorporate, right? You know, in is into, and then it has another one, corporis, body, right? So in body, right? not in body means unincorporate, right? Unincorporate means not in body. And the reason why you're unincorporate, because that means you're of one's own. You're separate, right? You're just a different associate from an incorporated body, right? So when you incorporate things, you bring it into the body, right? You see, to put something into the body or substance, right? That's different, right? This is when you start talking about different traps, different word traps that they do with the people, okay? I'm going to show you some examples of those word traps, right? Here goes one right here where this is voluntary association. We're in Infogalactic right here, right? And we just like this because look at this. Unincorporated association means these words should be familiar. Two or more persons bound together for one or more common purposes, right? Remember that. Two or more. Do you remember where we saw that? Wasn't it right here? Right? For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them, right? So in the secular world, we call that unincorporated association, right? So when you're an unincorporated association, that means you're functioning at the level of what Jesus told us that we should be functioning at. Follow me, okay? So always think about unincorporated associations when 2, 3, or more men and women want to get together and do something, all right? Let's keep it going, right? Legal personality, right? Legal personality. So why do we have this one up here, right? To have legal personality means to be capable of having legal rights. I think we did this one, yeah. Was it for the legal person? Yeah, legal person. See, persona iruus, right? That still means juris, right? Are of two kinds. You have a natural person called a physical person, high physical person, and a juridical person, right? Juris, artificial or fictitious person, right? Groups of individuals such as corporations. So things that are in the body, right? Those are called fictitious persons, right? Artificial persons. They're not real, right? So this right here is the hand of a real person, a natural person, right? A fictitious person would be an example of a corporation, a business, anything that's incorporated, right? That's what those are. See, incorporated in accordance with the law, right? And then all of those things fall under the jurisdiction of all the constitutions that the people wrote for them, right? All right, let's keep it going. So then we have incorporation right here, right? See this right here? The corporation may be a business, a nonprofit organization, sports club, or a government of a new city or town, right? That's just what an incorporation is, right? So know that all governments are incorporations. They're all businesses, right? Every government is a business that the people has created based off of the constitutions that we wrote for them, right? Scary simple service. Let's keep it going. Here goes one of the incorporations or one of the businesses that the people created. The United States Department of State, which falls under the jurisdiction of the United States government, right, which is the United States Federal Executive Department, right? And then when you track down who the executive department is, that's called the president, right? So the president is supposed to be in charge of the executive department, and then that's what that entity right there administers, right? And then there's other entities within this State Department, right? That's what the State Department is, which is an extension of the executive department, right? So what do they deal with? They deal with responsible for international relations of the United States, right? So the president has given power to the United States Department of State to go ahead and be responsible for the international relations. So how we get down with other nations, right? Okay, let's see what's going on with this. They have the ability to negotiate treaties and agreements with foreign entities. Really? Is that right? When did these people right here, the Department of State, get the ability to do that, right? Because I know we, the people, didn't give them the ability to create agreements or negotiate agreements or treaties with foreign entities. That is the responsibility of our executive, right? So who our executive would be the president, right? And if he doesn't come back and talk to us and say, hey man, we want to do these treaties with these other nations, then that's a no-no, man. Remember that. You got to know where your role is, man. So the president falls under the jurisdiction of we the people, man, always, right? We are their bosses, right? They are not our bosses. They don't tell us what's up. We tell them what's up, right? Okay, let's keep it going. international relations, right? I'm looking at this one right here because international relations, international affairs, or international studies is the scientific study of interaction between sovereign states, right? Okay, remember that word, sovereign states. Okay, let's keep it going. Sovereign state. In international law, a sovereign state is a non-physical juridical entity, right? Remember juridical, right? That means artificial entity. That means incorporated, right? That means a corporate entity. That's not a natural person, right? That is represented by one centralized government that has sovereignty over a geographical area, right? So how is this happening, right? Because I know every man and every woman is a natural person. And by default, that means that they are of one's own, right? They are sui juris. They are separate, right? So now we have a comparison. What is this artificial entity doing, right? What is this artificial entity called the sovereign state doing, right? Let's look up sovereign again, right? Superior ruler, right? Master, right? So is this entity right here that is a non-physical, is this non-physical master of the people? I don't think so, right? I know that they're not, right? Because I know the people didn't give them any type of authority to do that, right? Okay, so we're done with you, so check this out, right? So here goes Article IV or 4 in the United States Constitution, and I'm just showing you where it says it in the Constitution what the United States shall guarantee. See, text of Section 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government, right? Every state is guaranteed a republican form of government. Not a democracy, not a democratic one, but a republican form of government. And republican, 2 words. Re is of, publica is people. Of the people. Again, people. That's what republic means. Again, people. Remember that, right? And demos means district, right? District. That's what that one means, right? So remember, again, people, form of government. Again, people, form of government. All right, let's keep it going. Right, so we have the executive, which is what we call that executive branch, and then they have to execute, right? That means they have to follow the Constitution, right? They have to follow after, and they have to carry out all of the rules within the Constitution, right? That's it. Nothing more, nothing less, right? So they cannot write executive orders that don't adhere to the rules within the Constitution. That's a no-no, okay? So remember that. Every executive, if you write executive orders that go against the Constitution, you are in trouble, right? That means that you're trying to confuse the people. And when you try to confuse the people, that means that we're seeing that you're bringing war. And when you bring war to the people, that means you're betraying the trust. And that means you're committing treason, okay? It's really simple now. Very, very simple. All right, let's keep it going. And then we know through the order. So if it doesn't fit together, right? If it doesn't fit together like it's supposed to be in the Constitution, you're out of order, right? And when you're out of order, that means you're betraying the trust, right? And if you write an executive order that is out of order and it doesn't fit together with the Constitution, once again, we call that treason, right? Because you've betrayed the trust, okay? And now we can just go back and read all the executive orders that every executive has written and see, do the patterns match up with the Constitutions, all right? Scary simple service, okay? So check this out. Remember, here goes the state.gov, right? And this is about, right? So this is a delegated power. This is a deputy who was given power through one of our deputies that we created called the president, right? So a delegated power then gave this entity right here power, right? And they cannot do that, right? They don't have that ability, right? So check this out. What is their mission? To protect and promote the U.S. security? All right, we're just going to stop right there, right? And then we're going to show you something. We did not give them that ability, and we never gave them that power, right? Right. I'm going to show you something else. Prosperity and democratic values. Okay, so remember when I told you, you will be known by your words, right? So right here, it says, the United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government, right? And then now we have an entity that falls under the jurisdiction of the United States saying democratic values and shape an international environment in which all Americans can thrive, right? So this right here is a perfect example of maladministration, right? So we have an entity that was created by another entity that the people created, right? So the people created the government, and then, within that we gave the president powers and abilities, and then within there he tried to give this entity powers and abilities, but they're trying to create democratic values, which goes completely against the Constitution, man. We call that treason. So there's an example of treason on the state.gov department right now, man. All right, let's keep it going. Right, so here goes another example of treason, because you're going against God's laws, right? And you can't do that, right? So we got climate crisis right here, right? Remember that, climate crisis. You're going against God created this. God created this, not man. God created this, right? So God is in control of this, right? So you cannot control the climate. You can't do anything about the climate, right? But then when you scroll down right here, look at this. Bold action to tackle the climate crisis. Say, what? What are you trying to do, man? You don't have that power. You don't have that ability, right? So right here, you already know that you're dealing with a different entity that is not of God, right? You are of something else, right? You might, what we call, be an adversary, right? So let's scroll down, right? I want to show you something. Why is this flag up here on the state.gov website, right? Why is the UN Climate Change Conference, which is a flag in partnership with Italy, up here on an American website that is supposed to be Republican in form? Huh? I don't know. These are just questions we have, right? And then check this out. So look at the UN, look at climate change, and then look at the Paris Agreement. And then when you want to see what they're trying to do, right, climate change is a global emergency. By who? Who says that, right? I never said that it's a global emergency. I never gave the UN any authority to manage anything that the people have created. So all of our governments, are things that the people created, right? So now we have this agreement that somebody has established. I never agreed to any of these words in here. So now I wish to know who was agreeing with this, right? And then when you track it back and you see, oh, is it the Department of the State? And then when you track that back too, and you're seeing, is it the president, right? So is the president signing agreements with other entities that the people have not given authority to? I don't know. That's just a question, right? So look at what they do, right? So I'm going to show you something. So why is the Federal Register, right, which is an executive order database, right, Executive Office of the President, right, why are they trying to tackle the climate crisis at home and abroad, right? When did we give them that mission? When did the people give the mission for our public servants to tackle the climate, right? That is something that they don't have authority to do, because only God can do that, right? So we're watching you now, right? And we're seeing that we have examples of treason right now on our websites that we can look at, and they're all archived. It's so fun, right? So let me show you how they do it. So they do it through the word, right? So here goes here, let me go back to it so you can see it, right? So here goes Executive Order 14008, right? And then when you scroll down to Section 208, and then we're just going to show you how they make it painful for the people, right? Oil and natural gas development on public lands and in offshore waters, to the extent consistent with applicable law, the Secretary of the Interior, delegated power, delegated deputy, you have no power, shall pause new oil and natural gas leases, right? So here goes an example of delegated power, delegated authority, a deputy now trying to interfere with the health and the happiness of we the people, because they pause the oil, they pause the gas. And when you pause that, you cause a ripple effect to happen, right? And I'm going to show you what that looks like. It looks like this. So the prices have all increased for all of our fuel and other things, right? So because they paused the gas and they paused the oil within the land of America, right, which is supposed to be the people's land, right, and we just told them to make sure that all our businesses are running well in there, and then now they've made these rules called moratoriums because they want to delay and they want to hinder the development of the land for we the people. Now we have to pay more, right? And because of that, it's bringing a lot of pain, right? And that's not making the people happy. And this is an example of treason. This is an example of war against the people, right? So now every man and every woman, you are seeing examples of how the government commits treason, not through bombs, right? Not through anything like that, but through the word that they write, because they try to tackle the climate crisis that only God can control, right? So they try to trick you with the fear, right? But you're only supposed to fear God. Remember that. You just fear God, right? So we saw the gas prices and, that's it, man. So we're just going to go ahead and close it out with the word, right? Because we want to show you Matthew 6:2-4, right? No man can serve two masters. That's a fact, right? So every government, you either serve we the people or you're serving something else. And then if you serve something else, then that means you're committing treason, right? See, ye cannot serve God and mammon, right? So every government servant out there, every corporate body out there, you cannot serve we the people and mammon, right? You have to choose, right? And if you're choosing mammon, if you're choosing the rich and the gain, then that means that you guys are committing treason and you guys are committing war against the people. Scary, simple service, right? All right, let's keep it going. So remember, all of the men and all of the women, all of the people, if you want to know who you guys were created after, check this out right here. And God said, let us make man in our image. Remember that. God made man in our image. So God made man in God's image, right? So every man and every woman, whenever you look in the mirror and whenever you see another man or another woman out there, you're looking at an image of God walking in the realm, man. Scary simple, right? Scary simple. See, after our likeness, and let them, meaning man, woman, have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over the cattle and over all of the earth and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, right? So man, woman, we have dominion over everything, right? That means the climate, right? Not our government, right? So no government should be telling us what we should be doing with our climate because that's ours to administer. We are the ones who are supposed to have dominion over that, not our public servants, right? So remember that. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he, him, male and female created he, them. Remember that, right? That's it. Now we're done, okay? Let's keep it going. Psalm 82:6. Remember this, right? So I keep putting this in the people's head. You need to know who you are, right? Once you know who you are, then you have a huge responsibility, right? It's just that simple. Remember that. I have said, so big G is saying, yea are little g's, right? Yea are God's, and all of you are children of the Most High, right? So every man and every woman is a child of the Most High. Done, right? Done. So when you walk around there and you're thinking, I have no one, I have no family, every man and every woman is your brother and your sister. All of us are walking around here. You can just come and say what's up to us, and then we're going to be like, yo, what's up, little G, right? And then we're going to have a talk, and then we're going to say, how you getting down with Big G? Well, what kind of relationship you got with Big G, right? And then we're going to see where you are, because it doesn't matter, because we know that you're a child of the Most High, man. We are brothers and we are sisters. We are family. Done. Okay? Let's keep it going. So we got John 1:1. And we like to finish off with John 1:1 on this one, right? Because we want to show you. In the beginning was the Word. Fact. And the Word was with God. Fact. And the Word was God. Okay? That's it, right? So God is showing us through the words what's up, right? And God is this is how God communicates with us, man. He communicates with us through the Word and through the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit is that breath and it's that blow, and you see it everywhere, right? So every man and every woman, you watch them, right? They have the Spirit, right? The Spirit is inside of them, and you can look at them, and then even if they don't know it, right, you know that now, right? You know that every man and every woman is a child of God, right? Done, right? Done. You are all brothers and you are all sisters, right? That's what we all are, right? We don't need to be divided because we're all one, right? Every man and every woman is one, right? And then once we realize that, and once we realize that we are one body, right? And then we associate with our brother Christ, right? And then we associate with other men and other women, then we can move things and we can do some amazing things and crush, right? And build God's kingdom, man, because we're the bosses, right? Because that's what God said. We have dominion, man. All right, scary, simple service. Okay, so let's go ahead and close this out, man. Right, we're going to close out the order of God's realm, man, right? Because this is it. Remember this. God created the world, check. God created man, a.k.a. the people, check. The people created states, check. People created constitutions, check. People created governments, check. Question, when did government become boss of the people? Answer, never. The people are always the boss, right? And then now the people are just getting ready to go back, and we're going to let you all know. And we do that through paper. It's called notice and affidavit, man. I'll see you guys in the future. Remember, nobody's having more fun than us. Bye.